In this video I'm going to show how to add door jamb switches, how to run the wires, and how to connect the wires to the existing wiring so that anytime you open the rear hatch or sliding door, the interior lights come on. I bought this switch, this door jamb switch on J-Bugs, probably for a Beetle, but it doesn't matter. They all work the same way. When the door's open, it makes contact right there, that little triangle, and when the door is closed, the switch is depressed, and then it no longer makes contact to ground. I looked online and approximated where this hole needed to be, just a little bit below this ridge. You can see I didn't do a perfect job. I drilled 4 little holes in the corners and then used a Dremel to cut the section out. After measuring the size of the switch, which is about a centimeter squared, put it through there. Use a little self-tapping screw I got from Home Depot, and just maybe drill a little pilot hole if you want, but otherwise you can just screw it in, tap it. Of course you have to run the wire, and this part's hollow, and you can run the wire through this hollow part, and it comes out right there. Grab it, make sure it's the same wire, you can feed it through. And then I just kind of ran the wire around the edge of the engine compartment, under there, and through the firewall into the back seat. And there it is, all done. On this side I just found a piece of metal, found some self-tapping screws. Did kind of a crappy job, but that's okay. Doesn't have to touch the switch much, just has to depress it 3 millimeters, something like that. In here, just made sure everything fits. There it is, it's making good contact. So now you have to run that wire up all the way to the front of the van into the dashboard, connect it to the existing door jamb wire. As far as running wires, you kind of have to figure it out with your van. In the Westie, you might have to drill some holes and go through the back of the cabinets, or maybe you can run them under the cabinets. In this Devon conversion, you can run stuff behind the cabinets back there. There's lots of wires that go back there. It kind of feeds through. This is basically, used to be held down by some kind of glue, just kind of lifted it up. This is most of what holds it down. Just kind of unscrew that, then just run the wires along here. This isn't held down by anything, it just flops there. This is held down by some tacky stuff along with these little plastic parts that kind of protrude through the carpet. But the wires are just underneath there, and then back up under there. I have that purple wire running up under there, and there's a bunch of other stuff for the stereo, rear heater, oil light, all kind of stuff. You run up there, and you can just kind of see them come through after you've taken the dash off, or the gauge cluster cover. So I move those air vents. You can see the whole rat's nest. First we're going to move over here and unscrew the door jamb switch on this side. All these wires go in here and go up and in. The gray wire comes down to the fuse panel and goes to the buzzer for the door open buzzer. And these 2 brown wires, one of them goes to the light circuit and the other one just goes to the door jamb switch on the passenger side. And the way these posi taps work is pretty brilliant. You have a poker on this side, just goes around the wire like this. Piercer on that side, screw it in, pierces the wire, And on this side, other side, unscrew this. You feed your wire through the hole so that it's coming out, and kind of spread out the copper. Make sure it's making good contact over there, and then just screw it in to secure it. You have to do the piercing side first and then the other side. So we're not actually going to tap it right here, but you may need to pull the switch out to clean those connections, both the little triangle part as well as the connections to the switch. What we're going to do is move this around a little bit, see which wires in here are moving, and there they are. You can see the gray wire and those two brown wires. In my van, the brown wires were encased in this black rubber, so I cut it open a little bit and tapped it using that purple wire. Again, you can verify these are the right wires by moving it and then seeing the switch move over here. So over here's the switch for the sliding door, and here's the part on the door that oppresses it. I bought this part from a guy on the Samba for about 10 bucks. And I think even if your van doesn't come with the switch, it probably still has the holes that this depressing part to mate with or to fit into. But if not, you might have to figure something out yourself. You have to make this hole for the switch the same way, of course. And to get to the back of it, you're going to have to take this off. I don't know a good way of taking this off because I broke 2 of the 4 tabs off of this thing while I was doing it. But basically just push on one side and try to pull it out. But it was really difficult. Maybe you can do it without taking that part off, but here's the back of the switch. Door-Jamb switch, I just ran the wire right there. Goes in, I drilled a little hole for it to come out right there. Ran the wire under the carpet. I have to unscrew that bolt. Just runs under there, under here, and up behind there, and then behind the glove box. And then posi tap it to the brown and white wire, which you should be able to get to by taking the glove box out. And you're going to have to, and then you can kind of take this switch off, clean it, and verify that it's the right wire the same way just by kind of pulling on it and seeing that brown and white wire move. You might have to reach up behind there. It helps if you have small hands. Grab that brown wire and pull it around. It's really not too bad. Good luck.